Hey guys, this is Anime Ballsy here, and today we are going to be doing the 5th part to what if Goku had SCP-682's adaptability. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe, it's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jit. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Back in their own universe, the Saiyans are straight back to their training. Vegeta is continuing to grow frustrated with this idea of Ultra Instinct. With Goku so strong now, he is still daft enough to think that he can catch up. Going down this path of Ultra Instinct will not get him where he needs to be. He knows that for a fact. Therefore, Vegeta begs the reluctant Beerus to take him under his wing. He's happy that Goku isn't the one coming to him and doesn't like seeing Goku with the throne. If he can train up Vegeta and make him a contender to Goku, it only validates the destruction powers further. Vegeta already begins using Hakai and can destroy material at will. Future Trunks arrives from his own timeline with a metal blade wedged through his whole body. He's losing blood and he's losing it fast. The state that he's in isn't even comparable to the state that he was left in canon. He honestly looks like a corpse. Bulma hastily places him in a capsule where his body can stabilize, but she has to get the Saiyans here as soon as possible. Upon Goku's arrival, he just uses his own magic to heal Trunks. He looks relieved to have his body healthy again, and since that it's been so long since he arrived here, he doesn't react upon seeing Goku. He knows that he isn't Goku Black. Goku, thank God I'm here, Trunks says, with a sigh of relief. He then explains to them why he's been forced to come back here to the past. It's not looking good in his own timeline, and Goku Black is running around like a maniac, causing destruction everywhere. He has Goku's body and he's indestructible. The only way Trunks could make it out was through using wits and his arrogance against him. His mother Bulma was taken in the process though. Vegeta hears this and his eye twitches. He tries his best to hide those feelings of his, as he still wants to be perceived as a nonchalant, resolute warrior. However, knowing that his wife was slaughtered makes his heart sink, but then this sadness and shock turns to rage. He really wants to beat this Goku Black guy to a pulp. The Saiyans are eager to head to the timeline to try and face this Goku Black guy for him, but Trunks isn't as eager. He knows that the Saiyans are strong, but Goku Black doesn't need to be stronger than anybody to win a fight. His body is totally indestructible. What do you mean he can't be hurt? You haven't even seen a sliver of our new power. We're nothing like the people that we were when you were last here, Nappa says. No, I still can't just let you fight him. He grows and adapts to whatever you put against him. We tried electrocuting him, but his skin became totally resistant to electricity. We tried placing him underwater and suffocating him, but he grew gills. We even tried a deadly poison, but it only knocked him out for about a day. Then when he came back, the poison was useless against him. Trunks rambles on. The rambling shows the clear frustration that he's had with facing this guy. Whoa, I wasn't expecting him to be that much like Goku, Nappa says. The Saiyans remain silent for a short time. It looks like they can't just rush in there and use their brute strength to take him down. What doesn't kill him only makes him stronger, and that means they have to play their cards right. This leaves them with the evil containment wave, a way to keep him trapped, but even then they wonder if he could adapt to that state and free himself from the constraints of the electric rice cooker. Even if he does, they can't think of a way of how that would make him stronger. It would only make the attack useless, therefore they try it out. Goku learns the evil containment wave from Roshi himself, and it only takes an hour or so before it looks like Goku has it down. With the greater need for him to get the technique down, he can just focus and take in what Roshi is saying to him as well as he can. The Saiyans all leave to the past, where Goku Black finds them nearly instantly. He almost appears in front of them, showing off his speed. Trunks, you were foolish enough to return. Wow, you mortals never cease to amaze me, Goku Black says. I really don't like the sound of this guy, Nappa says. Tell me about it, Trunks says. You're a bad guy. You've done a lot of bad things, and you need to go down for it, Goku says. This bold claim of his only leaves Goku Black with a chuckle. Me? Take me down? You don't know what I've been exposed to here. I will not be defeated, he replies, with even more boldness. Goku leaves no time for chit-chat and immediately gets to work. The rice cooker is ready, and he begins sucking in Goku Black. He moves with flawlessness and fluidity, showing off his talent. No matter what Goku Black tries to do here, he's pretty much stuck. His body isn't really in his control anymore, and he soon starts getting closer and closer to the rice cooker. Goku finishes off the technique and sucks him right in, finishing off the containment. The cooker lid is placed on and the containment is complete. As the Saiyan places the lid on, that's when Goku sees it. He collected the wrong tag from Roshi for the electric rice cooker. Therefore, it's only a few seconds before Goku Black has been released yet again. Don't think it will be that easy to defeat me, Goku Black states. These foolish humans have put me through every extreme circumstance possible. There are no more options left for any of you. Now this isn't good. Judging from his abilities, it looks like the technique won't even be possible anymore. Everyone stays back for now, hesitant to rush in there and do something. This is quite frankly because they don't know what they can do. They know Goku, they fought him for years on end, he's a real pickle to fight. The guy doesn't even get hurt by any attacks and can easily beat you when holding back a whole bunch. The first to rise to the occasion though is Vegeta. Let's hope this training has gone to plan, Vegeta whispers to himself, hiding his fear from those below. He arrives at eye level with the being and holds his arm up. Begone, he calls out. He begins using the Hakai technique and it works like a charm. Goku Black just smiles at him, but he won't be doing much against this. His body starts looking like sand and he does look shocked for a second, but then his arrogance returns. Did you really think trying to turn me to sand would work? Goku Black asks, before the sand starts retreating to his fingertips. A vein pops up on Vegeta's forehead as he tries to work the technique, but Goku Black is resisting it by just manipulating his body to return back to an ordinary shape. That's when Vegeta begins using all the power that he can in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Powering this technique further, it starts doing its job. Goku Black remains confident at first, but then the sand reaches past his elbow. It then reaches up to his face and his whole body starts breaking down until nothing of it remains. He has been erased. The cloud of sand falls from the skies and then Vegeta looks up to see Zamasu that has appeared out of nowhere. Zamasu races down there with his arm cocked back and ready for an attack. However, Vegeta retreats, then begins using the same technique that can bypass even his immortality. Zamasu is erased as well. After these two erasures, Vegeta's stamina is spent. His efficiency with using the technique is quite poor, but it got the job done anyway. Future Trunks almost can't believe his eyes. These guys really are that strong. Vegeta then descends, flicking his destruction ring before landing. He was no issue at all, he states. Wow, I did not think you were gonna pull that off, Vegeta, Nappa says, surprised as he watches him descend. Future Trunks is more than grateful for their help and is almost brought to tears upon realizing that his timeline is safe once again. Therefore, they return to the present timeline and Future Trunks returns back to the future after sending them back there. Now that they've arrived, they want to continue their training. However, Goku is starting to get very bored. After sparring just Whis and having everybody else unable to hurt him, he's gotten really sad now. He's kind of lost the enjoyment from fighting. This leads him to say for Zeno to try and get the Tournament of Power going. Goku is eager to find somebody that could test him, and since the God of Destructions were allowed to participate at first, he is hopeful of getting a good fight in. However, Beerus isn't as hopeful because he does say that he is the strongest God of Destruction. Even if he does encounter another universe's God of Destruction in the upcoming tournament, it won't be a very good fight for Goku since he most likely will be stronger than them. Before this whole tournament begins though, Goku is up for a little spar with Toppo. The latter is arrogant and having been trained directly under a God of Destruction is understandable. Goku can see this and isn't going to hold back and just lose. He's going to show off a little. Toppo rushes in, throwing a whirlwind of attacks, but each one doesn't even come near landing on Goku. Once the opportunity is there, Goku steps past one of his jabs to throw a massive uppercut, lifting the Pride Trooper straight off his feet. He slams right onto his back and is left with swaying vision on the ground for a short while. However, he erupts in the power of God Ki, springing back up to his feet. He then zooms forward as fast as he possibly can, eager to get his dignity back after that humiliating strike. Throwing all his power into his next punch, it is still dodged by Goku. Another haymaker comes and that is evaded all the same. Goku then backflips out the way of any other strike, landing gracefully. Toppo isn't going to have this humiliation and runs in again, only to receive a tap to his neck. This tap to his neck drops him to his knees and he passes out. Just like how Beerus took out Goku on King Kai's planet, Toppo is out cold. Goku wipes off his hands and the fight is done. Who is that guy? Is he even mortal? Kitela shouts, with his hands on his head. He is, don't worry, because you haven't even seen a sliver of his power, Beerus says with pride. The Universe 7 team must be formed, and the first people added are the 4 Saiyans and Kami. Then they add Gohan and Goten to the roster. Goten is quite a talent, and even though he's been taking training rather lightly, he can already use Super Saiyan 3. Gohan has been outdone by his younger brother now that he has pretty much stopped training altogether. However, he does get a lot of strength back when he gets back to training with these Saiyans. He doesn't have the ultimate form since he was never trained by the Kais, but he does have Super Saiyan 2 and acquires that before the Tournament of Power begins. The humans added to the squad are Tien, Yamcha and Krillin. To finish things off, Frieza is added onto the roster because they know that he is quite strong. This 10-man squad is what is used, and they're deployed onto the ring to begin the battle. Goku rushes straight at the Pride Troopers, exploding forward with such speed that he breaks the arena floor and throws some off the ring just from the shockwave released from his run. "Oh sorry, I think I went a little overboard there," he says, before the remaining low-level Pride Troopers try and swarm him. That's when he transforms into his Super Saiyan form, throwing those fighters off the ring with his scream to launch them away. His arms fall back to his sides and the fight continues. Vegeta stands before Toppo, who is happy that Goku is occupied right now. Toppo readies himself and jumps at him, flipping to drive down his leg for a stomp. Vegeta easily steps past this hit and moves with such speed that Toppo can't even come near him. However, the tables turn when he begins using his aura of a god state. This form powers him up further and he takes Vegeta off guard with his newly gained speed. Kicking him in the stomach, he throws him off his feet, then throws him down with a downwards right hand punch. He slams into the arena ground and cracks it, but flips back onto his feet. After fighting Goku so many times, he's gotten used to being beat up and hurt in battle. With Beerus' destruction ethos, he knows that being hurt in battle cannot be a reason for him to stop or yield. Even better yet, this is only his base form, it's not like it's the end of the world or anything. His eyes shimmer with blue light and his hair brightens to gold. The hair then lengthens and his Super Saiyan 3 form is here. "Let's see how well you do now," Vegeta shouts, before grabbing a loose rock from beneath him. Hurling it forward, he then slams his fist to explode it in his face. Toppo's eyes widen once he sees how skilled Vegeta is with destruction already. Vegeta then continues hurling loose rocks from the arena ground at him, detonating them once they get close to him. All Toppo can do is hold his arms up and endure what is coming. It's not easy and he continues getting battered by these blasts without even being able to see where they're coming from. As they continue getting shot in his direction, he can soon rest once the barrage is over. Just as the smoke begins to thin, Vegeta darts toward him and slams into him, knocking him off his feet. Then he unloads with a wave of punches that digs Toppo further into the arena floor before he pulls him out and throws him off the ring entirely. Nappa is up against Dispo and is annoyed with his pesky speed. In his base form, it's proving to be quite a challenge to hit him. He continues to swerve around him, laughing as he evades all of his best punches. He transforms into Super Saiyan and throws an attack with this new speed of his, but it still does nothing. Dispo just about steps past it before whizzing around him and kicking the back of his knee to drop him. "You can't catch me, I'm the fastest warrior in my universe," Dispo claims as he continues to run around the large Nappa. It makes him rethink his whole strategy of just fighting with raw power and strength. It does work most times, but when he's against a small nimble fighter like this, his strength means much less. However, that's not to say that it's useless. Now in his Super Saiyan 2 form, he grabs Dispo as he tries to run around him. Under Nappa's grasp, but there's nowhere that he can go. Slamming him into the ground repeatedly, he soon shows no response to the slams. He's gone. Spinning violently, he then throws him out and moves on to his next target. Kami then stands ahead of Frost, ready for a rematch. After getting eliminated by that annoying poison, here he's going to make sure that he gets his get back. "Alright then Frost, I knew there was something about you. I'll show you the power that you missed up on seeing in our match," Kami says. "Kaioken times 35, he shouts, and his muscles bulge up immediately. The strain on his body is immense, but he just lets out a smile. He's been practicing with these higher levels of Kaioken and can feel his body still struggling to take it, but he knows he won't need much time. Speed blitzing Frost, he knocks the wind right out of him with the first strike. Before Frost can even block or retreat, he eats 2 further head strikes. With such a heavily amplified body, the clear superior fighter is Kami. His strength and speed is way better, and not only that, his fighting technique is much better too. Frost throws out his fist in anger, but Kami elegantly steps past it to kick in his leg, then elbow him in the jaw. This leaves Frost on his hands and knees, with blood dripping from his nose and mouth. Kami delivers a massive agonizing kick to his gut that leaves him to roll onto his back, gasping for air. "This is what you missed out on," Kami shouts, before kicking the side of his body so hard that he's left to slide all the way to the edge of the ring. He manages to catch himself and use all of his remaining strength to pull himself back in. As he raises, he slips and almost falls out the ring. Seeing the edge so close here is terrifying, but Kami closes in on him so there's no other option. With his Kaioken not lasting forever, it's not like he'll give him much space or time either. He'll have to find a way out of this. Frost pours all of his power into an energy wave as his last-ditch effort to win. However, Kami takes it head on and shoots his special beam cannon straight down its center, overpowering him. He destroys this blast and hits Frost right in his chest. Luckily, it's his upper chest and just tears through mainly muscle and not any major organs. This leaves him to stumble out the ring though and get eliminated. Finally, Goku's eyes are on Jiren. After fighting Toppo and beating him so easily, he's going to be his last hope of entertaining him. Goku runs forward eager to try and get a nice fight in and punches him a little too hard. Jiren coughs out spitting blood from the first hit and rolls away, struggling to even breathe. Even he is totally shocked by that hit. Just who is this guy? He doesn't even have time to think and get angry at this humiliation, he's just too flabbergasted. He strugglingly pushes himself up before weakening and falling down to a knee. Sorry, I thought you'd be a little stronger, Goku says. As this happens, he can see that his universe is pretty much taking down everyone that's a threat. Dispo took down Hit before facing Goku, and many other strong warriors have also been defeated. I'm sorry about this too, but I have to save my own universe, Goku says, before driving forward his right fist. It lands straight on Jiren's neck and crushes his windpipe while also knocking him out. Yet again, he's used way more power than he expected. The tournament comes to a close and Universe 7 are by far the winners. The universes are still wished back by the Khan universe, and next is the Broly arc. Frieza here is granted his revival after representing and protecting the universe, and he's immediately up to no good. After finding Broly on planet Vampa, he wants to use him to face the Saiyans. Paragus sees Vegeta's face and almost immediately gets furious. He sends off his son to fight him, and Vegeta is willing to take this challenge. His ring jingles under the blast of wind from Broly's advance, then Vegeta explodes the area around him. Broly looks around hastily, trying to locate him, but then Vegeta strikes him in his back and punches him all the way into an icy mountain from where they've been stuck. He then flies forward like an arrow, striking Broly so hard that he shoots him through the entire mountain that they're in. As Broly falls away, he grabs one of the large blocks of ice from the falling debris and detonates it. The detonation is insane and creates a crater of ice that has melted from the explosion and just turns into flowing water that flows down toward Broly. Before these crashing waves can submerge him, he flies right back up and continues the battle. However, it becomes clear that there's little that he can do. Vegeta is just a superior fighter and can play around with him even in his base form. As they fight though, just like Goku, he seems to be growing and getting closer to his level. That's when Vegeta starts glowing golden and uses his Super Saiyan form to shut Broly down. Punching him once, he is sent flying through numerous icy mountains before slamming deep into one. That's when he loses it. His eyes start to go yellow and his hair looks longer and wilder. He grows taller and more muscular and begins using his wrathful form. Breaking out from this ice, he shouts with the vehemence and fury of a beast. Vegeta can hear this shout from hundreds of meters away and is kind of frightened by this. Just what is he going to be fighting now? Broly comes charging toward him and seems much stronger than before. Vegeta actually gets caught with a punch from just being lazy but has to step things up a bit. Broly throws forward his mammoth fist, but he almost appears by his side. Kicking straight into his abdomen, Vegeta aims at the same area again with yet another kick. The two strikes are flawless and land on the mark perfectly. However, as he tries to throw a third, he's grabbed by his head and thrown into the icy ground. Broly continues just letting out all of his anger, repeatedly smashing Vegeta's head into the ground with ferocity. Doesn't let up for a second, but Vegeta erupts with new power as he begins using his Super Saiyan 3 Akari form. The power of his transformation is so great that he even throws Broly right off his body. I've been enjoying the fight, but you've gone a little too far. Let me show you who you're really messing with. Broly takes none of Vegeta's warning in and blasts forward, eager to continue. With his much greater speed and durability, Vegeta can do as he pleases here. He can tank the attacks that land on his person or evade them flawlessly. Soon enough, he leaps back with a backflip and then catches a punch from Broly. What is surprising is that this burly fighter closed the distance between them quite quickly. However, he squeezes and starts really straining his hand before pulling and punching him into the sky. Now it's time for Vegeta to attack. He swerves around in the air with utmost elegance but explosion too, delivering powerful strikes that Broly can't even see coming. In the end, he sends Broly flying up into the air, then zooms up with a large rock in his palm. Ultimate Big Bang attack, he shouts as he shoots down a blue ki blast with his free hand. Before it can reach Broly, he throws down the rock and slams the hand that he threw the rock with. It explodes violently and just adds to the overall explosive power. Vegeta has taken the fight right back. However, Broly continues to grow and bridge that gap between them. Soon he grabs Vegeta by the neck as he tries to speed around him, then punch him repeatedly with his open fist. Even after dominating in the fight for so long, Vegeta can't do much here. He just keeps getting punched in the face until he grabs Broly's fist and explodes up into his Super Saiyan Blue evolution form. This has given him a multiplier of several thousand times, and he throws Broly's hand to the side like it's nothing. Now there's no competition between him and Broly and the fight gets quite stale. It's just a mindless fighter trying to face someone that is faster, stronger and more skilled. Somebody that has had enough of this battle is Frieza. Looking to Paragus, he blasts straight through his chest, killing him. As Broly sees this, he loses control completely. Super Saiyan Broly is born. Vegeta sees this and looks a little concerned at first, just from how much ki he can sense coming off him. He feels like a ticking time bomb ready to just let loose with monstrous power at any second. However, he remains at range and blocks the first punch aimed at him before leaping up to evade a ki blast also shot toward him. He can already feel that he has grown stronger and more dangerous just from the way he's attacking. He's moving with a sense of speed that he never had before, and it seems to only be growing. Vegeta soon ends up on the back end, fighting from a ranged position and making sure not to just rush in and take unnecessary attacks. As the fight continues, Broly then shouts and begins using his full power Super Saiyan form, the greatest extent to his abilities. With his 10 times boost to his power, it is not looking good for the prince at all. He continues to fall back, trying his best to stay out of the way of his wrath, but realizes that Super Saiyan Blue evolution won't be enough. His power is unmatched right now, but Vegeta immediately challenges that dynamic. His hair turns to a dark purple and Ultra Ego Vegeta is here. His ring jingles under his intense purple aura and he stares down the burly fighter with his violet coloured irises. The game is on now. As Broly tries to attack him again, Vegeta punches him right in the chest and punches him so hard that he breaks his ribs on impact. He coughs out an alarming volume of blood as he retreats away, stumbling down to a knee. Broly slowly takes his strength and lifts back up to his feet, but in this time Vegeta has been charging his signature Final Flash. The ground rumbles violently as he shouts, continuing to pour strength into it. This is no ordinary Final Flash either, this is a Final Flash relying on her Kai energy. The flash has golden sparks, but the main balls of energy have a dark purple hue to them. He fires off the blast, and Chi-Lai tries to save Broly before he is hit, but instead Goku teleports in there and takes Broly out the way. Vegeta is almost stunned when he sees this and cuts off the blast. "Why did you stop the fight? I was only just getting serious there," Vegeta exclaims. "He can barely breathe. You did enough. I'm not sure if he could have risen to the occasion there. That blast would have killed him," Goku replies. Vegeta does understand the motive there and just grunts as he looks away. Returning to his base, the fight is over and Broly is kept with them because they can see some serious potential in them. Also, we can see Goku and Broly's power, that dangerous, uncontrollable strength that can explode up at any moment. They need to make sure that he has that in control, because if he loses himself, everyone around him will be in serious danger. During this time, Goku and the Saiyans remain at home for a time, just spending time with their families. After training so hard for so many years, it's always great to come back and see how things are going. Goku just spends a lot of time meditating, because this is what his main form of training is. Now that Whis is reluctant to enhance his power and make him stronger, he spends a lot more time focusing on his mental skills. This is still something that he can enhance greatly, and his quality of meditation is something that a human could never achieve. His mind can be as intense and chaotic as waves of water in a storm, then as calm to the stillness of the ocean at the click of a finger. As Goku is meditating, he can then see Meris that arrives in front of him. "Hello?" he asks. Goku doesn't know who he is, but he isn't scared. Firstly, his meditation has properly calmed him, but second, why would he? No mortal can challenge him. "We request that you come with us. We need your help to keep the universe safe from a dangerous person that has just escaped from our confines." "Who is this person?" Goku asks. Meris then describes the man that they're after, Moro. Goku does not like the sound of that and alerts his Saiyan companions to what is going on. Meris wasn't going to directly ask for them to come along, but after hearing how strong they are, he certainly isn't against it. They all head over with him on their ship, and as Goku meditates, he ends up sensing Moro and his dark evil ki. It's weird to sense and leaves a tingling to run down his spine, but this makes him even more motivated to take down this dark man. Before they meet him, Goku is up to spar Meris. Goku begins the fight in his base form and goes in to strike him. Meris is almost flustered by how fast he moves and gets launched into the corner of the room. The ship shakes violently as Goku throws this attack, and Meris tries to hide the pain he feels from it. He was not expecting this random morsel to be as strong as he is right now. After feeling that punch, he feels almost relieved that he has such a powerhouse on his side. Goku dashes toward him, but then begins using his after image technique to disorient him. Since he can move so fast, it literally looks like multiple versions of Goku are just there standing before him. Meris looks skeptical and aims for one, only to see his fist phase through it. He then goes for another, swinging a kick through, only to see the after image vanish. He goes for every single after image and finds that Goku is just repositioning himself so that he isn't the after image that is getting attacked. Meris just throws out his hands and shouts, releasing his aura to make Goku slide back. Once he sees cracks appearing in the side of the ship, he decides to call things off. That should be enough. They arrive on Namek shortly after, and Raditz is the first to face Moro. It's been a while since he's had the chance to face any of the main threats, and he begins in his Super Saiyan God form. Raditz has come to like this form because it gives him a massive power boost while basically draining none of his stamina. It also lets him use a large portion of Ultra Instinct. Moro tries to punch him, but his frail body has nothing on Raditz. His Ultra Instinct also makes him untouchable for him. He can slip and whiz around each one of his attacks, and he does so with a smile on his face. Finally, he backhands Moro in the most humiliating way possible, before kicking him in the gut so hard that he just drops down to his knees. The kick is so powerful that he destroys the ground that he stood upon. Moro shakes weakly upon taking just these 2 hits and coughs out blood almost as if he's going to vomit. Each cough makes him shake even more and tremble, but he just looks up smiling and showing off his bloody teeth. Lifting his hand, he starts going straight for Raditz's energy. The energy feeds off him in minuscule globules, and he also feeds from the Saiyans watching beside him. His muscles are vitalized and invigorated by this power, only making the magician stronger. "You shouldn't have given me such power," he stands up to then grab Raditz by his neck. This is where he starts draining his power as fast as he can. He returns to his base form and ends up passing out from just losing so much energy. Falling down, his energy has just been totally sapped from him. Nappa and Vegeta look down, shocked by the fact that they can't even go Super Saiyan. Goku though can feel his weakened body revitalizing itself and replenishing his energy right away. In just a few short seconds, he's back up to full energy. After seeing his friend so lightheaded and weak here, he knows that he has to take over. Leaping up toward Moro, he punches him once and shoots him into the air as if he's been shot from a slingshot. Chasing after him with insane speed, he lands a multitude of attacks that happen all in the blink of an eye. Finally, he kicks Moro up to then fly over him and shoot both of his hands down powerfully. This launches him into the waters below, and the wave of water that is released reaches hundreds of meters into the air. Everybody gets covered in water, but they see that Moro is not raising up. Goku lands by his friends, but they can then hear Moro dragging himself out the water to soak up on an island. He coughs out large volumes of water with blood mixed in, and he slowly rolls over before raising up. Once Goku sees this, it all makes sense. He's still alive because of those souls inside of him. That's why he's so old and lived for so long, but still able to survive an attack like that. With that, there's only one option left. Leaping over so he lands just beside Moro, he lands a precise palm slam onto his chest. As he lands this attack, a soul is released from his body. Moro can feel the loss of that stolen life force and his eyes widen slightly. This is a problem. This is a really big problem. He is then assailed with a barrage of strikes from Goku and souls continuously fly out his body. As he continues to strike his body starts looking frailer and weaker until after the last strike is thrown and no soul is released, he just shrivels up and falls to the ground. He looks like a dry corpse, barely even recognizable after the relentless combination. Nothing to worry about now. He was a handful though. "I reckon we should have gone for your Hakai at that turn left, Vegeta," Goku says. "Of course, it always comes back to destruction, doesn't it? The superior power," Vegeta says. "Well, it has its purposes." Following this, Granola looks to Tarambo to try and wish to be the strongest in the universe. Unluckily, there's nothing that the dragon can do. There's no way for him to grow stronger than Goku. He's just too powerful and is continuing to grow. It's unlikely that he'll reach his level at any point. This leaves the universe in peace for a little while longer. However, something else is happening, something very concerning. What is this? What is happening? The man wonders. Around him is nothing but a black abyss. It's hard to describe. It's not even darkness. It's more the lack of reality, a lack of something. Nothing. Truly nothing at all. From out of nowhere he appears. Goku Black. "What is this? I was erased, wasn't I? I thought I was a goner," he states, tapping down his body with surprise. Goku's body has a very magical feature that negates the power of erasure. Even if he is erased, his presence, his soul if you will, remains and will return at some point in time. As he looks around him, he soon catches sight of Earth that is only a quick trip away. "Let's give Trunks a visit," he says, cackling as he speeds down toward the blue marble. He ends up seeing something very different when he lands. It turns out that he isn't even in the right timeline. The revival of his body has caused a slight mistake as to where he shows up. Goku is meditating as you do, but he can then feel a massive signature coming close. Once he comes closer, he can see that it's Goku Black. He's returned. The other Saiyans swiftly arrive by his side in this wasteland as they see him. "You thought you could get rid of me? Well, here I am, back again," Goku Black says. Vegeta continues to look up with a completely open mouth. He can't believe it. "Impossible," is all he can mutter. Goku stands forward because he knows that he must be the man to do it. Now they know that he cannot be sealed or even erased, so he has to find a way to get this done. He feels fear. There's nothing he can do to stop that, but all he does know is that he's the only man for the job. Goku starts off with using UI Omen, a form that he hasn't had to use in a proper battle. It skyrockets his power of Rip. Leaping up into the air, the fight is on. He punches Goku Black, who is too slow to even perceive his approach, then gets hit with a series of upward gut punches before getting a clobbering left hook to his ear. With such a massive gap between their power, Goku is clearly getting the upper hand. However, it's useless. Even if Goku Black is covered in his own blood and struggling to fight, his body is growing stronger and improving on itself. Don't you see? The fight is useless. Goku, you should know your body more than anybody, and know this fight is futile. As he continues spouting this arrogant rhetoric, Goku just kicks him away, launching him across the skies with immense force. Goku could feel that he had broken bones, but a smile doesn't show up on his face. He knows that isn't enough. He knows this all isn't enough. The wounds in his body heal and vanish, just making his body stronger. As they continue battling, Goku keeps thinking about how he can finish this fight off. No matter how much stronger he is, the gap between them is closing, and it's closing very quickly. The others below can see this, and Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black is now battling UIM and Goku as if they're equals. This isn't an issue for Goku as he steps up and into Mastered Ultra Instinct. With this instant boost in power, the dynamics change, but still he is only making Goku Black stronger. As he sees this, he can't even motivate himself to continue fighting. He just flies back a few meters and starts thinking more deeply about what he can do here. Oh, so you finally realised that the fight against me is futile. You were too weak to use the gift of a body given to you, but I took that chance and now I will use it to reign over this universe as its rightful god, Goku Black explains. Things really are looking bleak for reality itself. Goku then teleports to appear beside his friends and gets them on board with his next strategy. They all nod and they simultaneously begin to shout. Goku Black rushes down there with his rose-coloured hair flowing from the speed of his flight. Once he reaches close though, he hits nothing but this odd energy shield. What are they up to? Raditz then begins using UI Omen, pulling back both his arms to begin charging an energy attack. Vegeta does the same, and Nappa widens his mouth to begin charging an energy wave. What is striking about these energy waves is that for Nappa and Vegeta, they're in ultra ego and relying on destruction energy for this. Use everything that you have, Goku urges. This is just before he lowers his shield. Just as he does this, the pressure that is emitted is insane. It's almost like a bomb from the release of energy. As this happens, Goku then gets enveloped in this weird translucent aura of ki. It then grows into a massive avatar of himself that is now charging the energy wave. The three Saiyans at this avatar's feet continue growing their own power, and all the energy waves fire off simultaneously toward the target. Goku Black is too flustered to properly react and gets hit by all of them at once. Raditz and Goku's attacks serve to break apart his body while the Hakai blasts erase him. With all these blasts, it is done. Goku Black has been erased. Goku just falls to his knees, gasping for air, and the others look relieved too. However, their relief washes away once they see Goku Black appear in the same spot in the sky. He just pops right back into existence and they just cannot believe it. The SCP-682 cannot be erased from reality no matter what is done. These bodies, Goku and Goku Black, are merely avatars for the greater identity of Goku. Since Goku Black switched bodies with Goku, the identity for him is now him and not the future Goku. This means that if something happens to Goku Black's body and he's erased, he comes back with his own mind, not future Goku's. Erasure is useless. Goku Black knows that in order for him to get stronger, he has to fight, and so attacks Goku from out of nowhere. He soars down to slam into him with a headbutt before throwing a relentless wave of attacks that end up making Goku retaliate with hits of his own. They continuously exchange punches and kicks, shaking the planet with each connection. Goku blocks a swinging kick with his shin, managing to use his momentum to throw one of his own, clipping at Goku Black's jaw. Following this, he spins around to land a double drop kick that fires him away. However, he only grows stronger and ends up ascending past Goku. Goku tries to keep him out of range with a jab, but Goku Black seamlessly steps ahead of his jab to grab his head and slam it downward. He then repeatedly smashes it into the ground before then growing a ki scythe to stab it into Goku's heart. The stab is truly agonizing, but this is Goku's body. As soon as it's removed, he heals and grows stronger from it. The two fighters continue to battle it out and both climb as they fight. This then gets the attention of Whis. Just what is happening here? He can sense God Ki and senses just how hectic things are on Earth. The amount of energy released is so large that rumbling thunderclouds have been summoned above them, striking down the ground with intense lightning. Their powers just keep climbing as they fight. Each supposedly fatal stab or attack is just healed and used to augment the power of the one that got attacked. They reach past even the powers of Whis, and he knows this. This is exactly what he was hoping not to happen. The power of Goku falling in the wrong hands. The others had claimed to have solved the problem, but the man is back here wreaking havoc. If they lose, what's stopping him from reaching further and targeting the gods further up the totem pole? As much as he wants to step in and help, he is inferior. He doesn't have Goku's amazing healing and growth abilities. There is nothing that he can do to stop Goku Black. Both warriors grab onto each other and push powerfully, simply growing stronger as they push. They harshly slam their heads together, only continuing to grow more powerful as this happens. Cracks protrude out from the ground as they clash, but Goku then falls back and performs several backflips. Goku Black cackles and then stops looking at Goku. It's odd, as if he's just zoned out from the fight completely. That's when he shoots 3 death beams at once, all from an individual finger, and cuts through the hearts of Goku's friends. They're all dead. After that, he lifts his hand and begins raining down pink energy blasts onto the whole planet. They land in cities, razing them to the ground, and even in the remotest places on the whole planet. Even his family are affected. Gohan and Goten are lucky enough to survive these blasts, but as for their mother, she is killed. Their immortality keeps them alive, but even Bulma and Trunks are also dead. The amount of smoke from the global explosions leaves this dark, gloomy overcast over much of the planet. It's almost as if the world has turned to a permanent dark night. Goku sees this and just drops to his knees. He knows what has happened. Everyone around him is dead. All he can feel is the key signatures of his 2 sons. That is all he can cling onto to stay sane here. His eyes look dead, constantly looking into nothing. His body, his power has been turned against him to commit the most atrocious evils possible. A man of his nightmare stands before him, a demon that he cannot defeat. What can he do? What can he actually do? No, there has to be a way. There's a way out of this, because he demands such. Goku stands up, taking slow but bold steps up to his feet before staring down Goku Black. Tears run down his cheeks, but they suddenly stop, and he continues with his cold stare. I don't feel like saying this over and over again, but I already told you that I am undefeatable, Goku Black states, with his arms crossed. I don't need the world to have any mortals, and if any immortals choose to defy me, they will also meet a similar fate. Just stand now to the inevitability of the situation, Goku. You have lost. You mortals can never have won, Goku Black exclaims. No, Goku sharply states, with a boldness in his voice that has never been heard before. Crouching down, he starts to shout at the very top of his lungs, fueling himself with power. This is in the form of Kaioken. The strain is heavy, but he heals. He grows. Kaioken times 100, he shouts, as several muscles and bones in his body just break apart. Even his skin tears in places, and it looks like he's just exploded. Blood and loose flesh flies out from his body, but it heals and grows. His Kaioken soon stabilizes, and he has now grown 100 times stronger on the spot, and with his Zenkai he has grown even more. Kaioken times 1,000, he roars with vehemence, struggling to even hold his sanity as he calls for this power. The pain he feels after is something that he never thought he would actually experience. It's literally like his body is diced apart in several places, but he is blessed by his godlike healing factor. His body is mended back up and healed in under a second. This should be enough power. His muscles have bulged up from the surge of power through them, and he almost looks like a different person. The aura he has is so tall and powerful that it breaches through the dark clouds overhead. A single spot of clear blue sky floats above Goku as he walks forward. The light is here, the light to break away and destroy the darkness. Holding his hands up, he starts shouting, and Goku Black doesn't really understand what he's doing here. Stepping forward to attack, he sees that he's protected himself with an energy shield yet again. What opens up behind Goku Black is a massive vortex, about 10 meters tall and wide. What it looks into is nothing but void, an infinite cold blackness that sucks away the heat and air from around him like a vacuum. Be gone, Goku roars, before leaping forward with all his might. Just his jump sends cracks kilometers across the ground, toppling whole mountains. His aura flares out, pushing Goku Black back while also breaking apart the thunder clouds above even more. The area is now shrouded in bright white light as the clear sky has returned. Kicking Goku Black right in his chest, he is launched straight into the abyss and the void shuts. The vacuum stops and Goku's red aura vanishes. He returns to his base form and just falls to his knees. It is done. A portal to a reality of darkness that Goku gained the power to create. A reality to hold Goku Black in forever, leaving him to wallow in his thoughts for the rest of time. As he teleports to Namek, the amount of power that he exudes forces the Namekians to bend to his will. He tries his best to keep them calm, but they feel as if a heavy weight is pressing on them as soon as they come near him. However, with Porunga, Kami is revived. Then with the Earth Dragon Balls, those killed by Goku Black are returned to life. Goku then returns to Earth and rushes over to hug his friends as soon as he sees them alive. Tears come rushing down and he just can't believe it. The job is done. With the protector in the form of Goku for Universe 7, true and absolute peace reigns. So that will conclude what if Goku had SCP-682's adaptability. I hope you liked this finale. I added an extra twist at the end and I really enjoyed writing it. Please tell me something you liked about this what if, or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.